The real Mira stepped forward. "Stand down." The clones didn't speak. Then, one of them smiled, a cruel, broken version of Mira's smirk. The alien war station was burning. Flames licked the metal walls as smoke filled the halls. Alarms screamed a warning. But Mira Nox moved like a shadow, calm, deadly, focused. She wasn't alone. Behind her, Unit Echo fought through the chaos. Blaster fire tore the silence, and the shrieks of exploding tech echoed everywhere. But Mira's eyes searched for one person, Zorak. In the deepest chamber of the station, Zorak waited. His armor was cracked, but his eyes burned with rage. "You've done well to get here, human," he said coldly. Mira raised her rifle but didn't fire. "Zorak, this ends now." He laughed, a cruel, metallic sound. "You think destroying this place will stop us? We are already warborn. Stronger, faster, immortal." Mira's grip tightened. "I fight for my soul. You fight for a lie." Suddenly, the door slammed open. Unit Echo stormed in, guns blazing. Mira didn't wait. She charged. The battle was brutal. Zorak's enhanced strength made him a monster in close combat. He slammed Mira against the wall, but she twisted free, striking his jaw with a plasma knife. The cloned soldiers fought alongside him, perfect soldiers with no mercy. But Mira and her team fought harder. In the chaos, Mira spotted the cloning console, still active. "If I destroy this," she shouted, "we cut off their army." Jonas's face flashed in her mind. His sacrifice gave her this chance. She rushed to the console, dodging fire. Her hands worked fast, planting explosives. Zorak roared and grabbed her leg. She kicked him hard, then pressed the detonator. "Now," she yelled. The station shook violently. The clones started to malfunction, their circuits frying. Zorak screamed, rage burning in his eyes. Mira faced him one last time. "This is for Earth." She fired. The shot hit his chest. Zorak fell. The station began to collapse. Smoke filled the halls. Explosions rocked every corner. Mira grabbed her team. "Move, move." Outside, they sprinted to the shuttle as the alien station crumbled behind them. Mira looked back once. The Warborn Empire was falling. On the shuttle, Mira finally allowed herself to breathe. Jonas's sacrifice, her battle, they were not in vain. She looked at her team. "We are survivors. We are warriors." Far away, a new signal blinked on her comm. A warning. They are coming. Mira's eyes narrowed. The war was only beginning. The skies above Earth flickered with warning lights. In the underground military base known as Deep Command, a siren blared red. A voice echoed across the walls. "Code Black Piro Tosio. Activated." Inside the control room, generals, scientists, and intelligence officers stood frozen, staring at the screen. Captain Mira Nox's face filled the display, her voice calm but urgent. "The enemy is cloning us. They used me as a blueprint. They've already begun their army. If we don't stop them now, Earth will fall." A senior general looked at the tech officer. "Track her signal. Find her. Prepare orbital teams. If she's alive, she's the only one who knows how to stop this." Meanwhile, deep space. Inside the stolen alien scout pod, Mira Nox drifted through silence. She had barely slept. Her eyes were red, her face bruised, her knuckles raw. But her mind was sharp, focused. On the screen, alien code scrolled. The data she stole from Zorak's station. Diagrams of human clones, artificial neural implants, genetic upgrades. She frowned. "They're not just copying us. They're improving their version." A voice crackled over the comms, distorted but human. "Mira, if you're out there, respond. This is Admiral Wexler. Earth received your signal. We're coming." Back at Earth's orbit, a black stealth ship, HFY launched silently. It carried 12 elite soldiers, trained for deep space recovery missions. Their target, Mira Nox. Inside the alien war station, Commander Zorak watched with unreadable eyes. Her message reached Earth. They will send someone. One of his officers stepped forward. Shall we intercept? Zorak shook his head. No, we let her bring them here. Then, we test our army. He turned toward the cloning chamber. Inside, rows of Mira's clones stood silently. Cold eyes, enhanced reflexes, each one a mirror of her body, but without her soul. Zorak smiled. The real one is flawed, emotional, human. My version will be perfect. Back in space, Mira's pod jolted suddenly. Beep, beep, beep. Her radar showed movement. Fast, controlled, not alien. She grabbed her rifle and stood ready. But a friendly voice broke through. This is HFY. Captain Nox, we've got you. Relief softened her shoulders, but only for a second. A black pod docked with hers, and the recovery team entered. Captain, said the lead soldier, lowering his helmet visor. We're under direct orders. You're coming home. Mira nodded, but her voice was flat. You're too late. They've already started. Clones. Neural Wartech. I've seen it with my own eyes. The soldier looked at her. Then we destroy it together. Back on Earth, deep command. As Mira returned, she was immediately taken into briefing. Holograms of the alien station appeared, genetic charts, images of Mira's clones. Everything they took from me, she muttered. A scientist looked nervous. They didn't just copy you. They modified your DNA. Increased strength, faster healing, even neural link combat reflexes. Mira stared at the screen. So, what? You want me to fight myself? A general replied. No, we want you to lead the team that does. Training base, 7 days later. Mira stood before a new squad, Earth's elite, called Unit Echo. She trained them fast, hard, real. We're not just fighting aliens, she told them. We're fighting my shadow. Jomas's name was added to Earth's fallen hero list. Mira said nothing, but each morning, she placed a med patch on her wrist, a quiet reminder of him. The mission, infiltrate the alien cloning station, destroy everything, capture Zorak. Simple on paper, death in real life. Deep space, final jump. Inside a black stealth cruiser, Mira and Unit Echo approached the alien station. Status, she asked. We'll breach atmosphere in 2 minutes, the pilot said. Suddenly, alarms. Enemy drones swarmed in. Mira stood tall, calm. This is just noise. Focus. We get in, we burn it all down. They landed hard. Explosions greeted them. Alien turrets fired from towers. But Mira was faster. She ran ahead, clearing the path with blaster fire and EMP grenades. Inside, the halls were quiet, cold, familiar. Then, the sound of boots. Not alien, human. Echo Squad raised their weapons, but froze. In front of them stood 5 Mira clones, fully armored, faces blank. You're outdated. A brutal fight began, hand to hand. Clone versus human. Mira locked eyes with her mirror. You're fast, she said, breathing hard. But I'm real. She slammed the clone into the wall and ripped out its neural core. 1 down, 4 to go. Back in the command chamber, Zorak watched the battle with interest. He turned to his officers. She is chaos, but also the key. Imagine what we can build from her next version. Suddenly, the wall behind him exploded. Mira stepped through the fire and smoke, alone. Sorry, Commander, she said, raising her rifle. This upgrade is still mine. The Galactic Council's full fleet was moving toward Earth. The invasion was near. The war that many thought impossible was becoming real. But Earth was not alone. Far beyond the known stars, secret signals traveled. Some alien races, tired of the Council's rule, were watching Earth's fight with growing hope. One of these was the Trelix, a species known for their speed and stealth. The Trelix had lived under Council control for centuries. But now, their leaders made a dangerous choice. They sent a hidden message to Earth. On Earth, the core intercepted the signal. It was coded in a strange but clear pattern. The message read simply, "We stand with you." General Carter gathered the top leaders. "We have allies," he said quietly. "Not many, but enough to change the game." The Trelix ships arrived silently. They did not bring massive fleets. Instead, they sent small teams of experts, engineers, hackers, soldiers. Together with humans, they worked quickly, sharing technology, building new weapons, preparing defenses. Captain Alina Reyes met with the Trelix leader, a calm but fierce warrior named Kara. "We don't trust easily," Kara said. "Neither do we," Alina replied. "But if we want to survive, we fight together." While Earth and the Trelix prepared, the Council's war machine continued its path. Thousands of ships gathered at the edge of the solar system. But something was wrong. The Council's ships started to disappear. One by one, whole squadrons vanished without a trace. Back on Earth, the core analyzed the attacks. "We are not alone in this fight," it said. "Other rebels are sabotaging the Council." The war was spreading. The Council faced enemies from inside and out, but Earth's greatest challenge was yet to come. The Council sent their deadliest weapon, the Black Star, a massive warship built to destroy planets. Its arrival near Earth was like a shadow falling over the world. People stopped and stared. The countdown to war had entered its darkest hour. The galaxy was full of powerful civilizations. For thousands of years, alien empires had ruled the stars. They had fast ships, strong weapons, and control over many planets. But one small blue planet, Earth, was still left alone. The Galactic Council had watched Earth for a long time. From space, they saw humans fighting each other, building cities, and destroying nature. They called Earth a chaotic world. Some council members thought Earth was a joke. In a giant chamber on the planet Solrex, the Galactic Council held a secret meeting. Holograms of alien leaders floated in the air, green skin, glowing eyes, sharp horns, soft fur, all different kinds. But they had one thing in common. They all thought Earth was weak. Council leader Zorak, a tall alien with silver skin, stood in the center. "Humans are primitive," Zorak said. "They fight over land, money, even food. They are not united. They are not ready for the stars." The others nodded. One alien laughed and said, "Their best weapon is fire from tubes." How sad. They all laughed, but one alien didn't laugh. His name was Commander Threx. He was quiet, with yellow eyes that never blinked. He had studied Earth more than anyone else. Threx stood up and said, "You are wrong. Humans are not weak. They are different." The room got quiet. Threx waved his hand, and a screen lit up. It showed videos of human wars, disasters, and survival. "This," he said, "is a species that never stops. They lose cities. They lose millions, and still they fight back. They rebuild. They learn." A short clip played. Soldiers carrying wounded friends, people running into burning buildings to save strangers, rockets launching into space, children learning in schools during war. Another alien spoke. "They destroy each other. That is not strength. That is madness." Threx replied, "Yes, but they grow stronger through pain. They adapt faster than any species I have studied, and they never forget." Then he showed one more clip. A group of human soldiers were surrounded. No help, no escape, but instead of surrendering, they fought until the end, not for land, not for gold, but for each other. Tell me, Threx asked, have you ever seen courage like this? The council stayed silent. Zorak waved his hand. Enough. We will send a scout team to Earth, not to fight, just to observe. Then we will decide. But Earth was already watching. Back on Earth, deep inside a mountain base, humans had discovered a strange signal, a pattern, not natural. It came from space, but it wasn't a star or planet. General Carter, a serious man with tired eyes, looked at the signal on the screen. "This isn't ours," he said. "No, sir," the tech officer replied. "It's looking at us." All across the world, secret teams began working together. Countries that were enemies shared data. Satellites changed direction. Telescopes pointed at the sky. They found something. Hundreds of tiny machines, hiding, floating in orbit, watching. Spies. Earth had been watched for years, and no one knew. Until now. General Carter made a call. "Prepare the message," he said. At the same time, in space, a small alien probe recorded Earth's radio waves. Music, news, movies, all strange to the aliens. Suddenly, the feed changed. The probe received a direct message, in a cold voice, not angry, not loud, just clear. "We see you now." Back in the council chamber, alarms went off. The probe had been found and hacked. Zorak shouted, "How? How did they find us?" Threx smiled. "I told you. They adapt." The room fell silent. Then, for the first time in many years, the Galactic Council felt something they hadn't felt in a long time. Fear. They had always watched others, judged others, controlled others. But now, Earth had looked back. For months, the Galactic Council thought Earth was silent. They saw no space fleets, no massive energy spikes, no signs of planetary defense. They thought humans had accepted their fate. They were wrong. Deep under the moon's surface, in a base even NASA didn't fully control, Earth's secret plan was almost ready. Codename, Project Echofire. It was not just a ship. It was a ghost fleet, invisible to Council scanners, silent, black, built using stolen alien code and human creativity. Inside the lead ship, Captain Alina Reyes sat in the command chair. She wore no medals, no shiny armor, just black gear and sharp eyes. "We do not fire unless fired upon," she told her team. "But once they shoot, we erase their memory from the stars." The mission: free a Council-controlled mining colony known as Delta IV. The workers there weren't aliens. They were slaves, taken from weaker planets. The Council used fear to rule. But Earth had learned. Fear fades fast when hope returns. The fleet left silently. No goodbye, no signal. Only the hum of engines powered by human-made gravity cores. Unstable, dangerous, but fast. Faster than anything in the Council's known systems. At Delta IV, Council guards relaxed. The planet was quiet, cold, no life outside the walls. Just machines digging endlessly into the rock. One guard looked up and joked, "Imagine if humans showed up here." The other laughed. "Please, they can't even reach their own moon without crashing." Then the sky cracked open. 3 black ships blinked into view. No sound, no warning. They dropped metal pods that smashed into the ground. From inside came silence. Then soldiers, Earth's soldiers. Not clones, not mindless bots. Real men and women with fire in their eyes and stories in their blood. They didn't just attack. They dismantled. Council weapons auto-locked on the invaders. But Earth had planned for that. One whisper into the comm system. Mirror dust. Suddenly, every Council weapon turned off. Every turret froze. Their system betrayed them. It wasn't just a counterattack. It was a digital humiliation. Inside the colony, aliens looked up from their work. For years, They had lived without hope. But now, they saw humans fighting for them. Not to rule, not to own, but to free. Within 7 minutes, the battle was over. Captain Reyes stood at the central tower. She looked up at the security cameras. "This colony is no longer under council control," she said. "We don't take prisoners. We take back what you stole." The message was broadcast, intentionally. All council systems picked it up. Billions of citizens across the galaxy watched in shock. Humans, so-called primitives, had done what no one else dared. Struck first, and won. Back at the Galactic Council, the members were furious. Zorak roared, "This is war now. They have crossed a line." But others looked uneasy. "If they can breach Delta 4, one alien asked, can they breach more?" Threx stood at the edge of the room. He spoke softly. "They're not just attacking. They're teaching us a lesson. That we're not untouchable anymore." Back on Earth, Captain Reyes returned home. No parade, no applause, only silence and a message from the Core. Counterstrike complete. Reaction time from Council. Slower than expected. Probability of full retaliation, 87%. Recommend. Prepare Earthwide Defense Network. The message was clear. The first punch was thrown. Now the real war would begin. But humans had something no council model could measure. Will. Every human knew what was coming next. Cities would burn. Skies would fall. But Earth would never go down without a fight. And this time, they weren't alone. Rumors spread across other alien worlds. They call themselves human. They freed Delta 4. They fight like they've been waiting for this moment forever. Earth had sent a message, not just with words, with action. The council ships had left Earth, but Earth was no longer the same. For thousands of years, humans had looked at the stars and wondered, are we alone? Now they knew the answer. No, they were not alone. And the galaxy had never been safe. Back in the mountain base, deep under Colorado, the human leaders met again. This time, not just generals, scientists, historians, hackers, intelligence experts. They all knew the same truth. Earth was not ready for a full war. Not yet. But it had something the galaxy didn't understand. History. Dr. Maria Chen, a military historian, stood up in front of the group. She didn't carry a weapon, just a small remote and a cold stare. "Aliens think we are weak," she said. "They see our wars as a sign of failure, but they don't understand." She pressed a button. On the wall, images of past human wars appeared. World War I, Vietnam, the Cold War, cyber wars, biological threats. "Every time we suffer," she said, "we get smarter." The room was quiet. Then General Carter added, "We've fought wars for land, power, and pride. But this next war is for something greater. Survival." And that made humans dangerous. Because when survival is at stake, humans change. They adapt. Over the next few months, a secret network called the Core was formed. It was hidden beneath the Arctic ice. No satellites could see it. The Core was not a weapon. It was a library. A digital memory of Earth's pain and power. Every battle tactic, every strategy, every mistake, every breakthrough. I-Systems learned it all and combined it into something new. A war brain. Earth wasn't just building weapons. It was building a way to learn faster than the enemy. At the same time, deep in an old Russian bunker, engineers unlocked a new kind of technology. Something Earth had always feared. Biotech. Merging man with machine. Not to create super soldiers, but soldiers who could survive space, radiation, and psychic attacks. Most aliens feared pain. Humans had learned to live with it. Meanwhile, in a lab in India, a teenage coding prodigy named Ayan developed a small program. He named it Mirror Dust. It was only 300 kilobytes, but it could copy and flip alien language codes in less than a second. When tested on a captured probe, it took control in 1.7 seconds, faster than the probe could react. Earth was still behind in ships and weapons, but not in the mind. Some alien races believed Earth was violent because of fear, but they were wrong. Earth was violent because it remembered the Holocaust, Hiroshima, 9/11s, blackouts, bombings, invasions, colonization. Humans carried the ghosts of their mistakes, and now they used those ghosts as weapons of warning. In space, the Council watched Earth's surface. They saw no new weapons, no armies marching, just calm cities, lights, life. But under the calm, the storm was building. Commander Threx returned to the Council chamber. He had been quiet for weeks. Now he looked tired, but his voice was clear. "I warned you," he said. "Earth is not weak. They are patient, and they remember everything." Zorak shook his head. "They still don't have our technology. They still lose in a fair fight." Threx turned toward him and replied, "Earth never fights fair." Back on Earth, the core spoke its first message, a robotic voice, cold and low. "Learning complete. Weakness analyzed. Phase 3, counter-strike simulation. Successful." The humans looked at the screen. The core had predicted 7 possible Council battle strategies. In all 7, Earth had found ways to win. Not without loss, not easily, but win, nonetheless. Earth was not waiting to be saved. Earth was preparing to strike back. The Galactic Council was worried. Earth had discovered their spy probes. That wasn't supposed to happen. According to their scans, humans were still fighting over oil and borders. But now, Earth had spoken back. A direct message, "We see you now." That line echoed in every alien chamber, war room, and council seat. So the Council changed the plan. They would not wait. They would send a first contact team, not to attack, just to show their presence, a show of force. Make Earth submit peacefully, like so many other worlds before. 3 alien ships entered Earth's orbit. They were dark, silent, and smooth like floating stones. The world government saw them right away, but there was no panic. Not this time. Earth was ready. The President of the United States met secretly with world leaders. Russia, China, India, France. Enemies on paper, now allies in secret. "We don't shoot first," the President said, "but we never bow." In the middle of the Pacific Ocean, a neutral base was set up for the meeting. The aliens would land there. A calm talk. Peace, if possible. The alien leader, Envoy Drellick, stepped out of his ship. He was tall, with thin limbs and bright blue eyes. He wore no armor. He didn't need to. His ship could destroy a city with one shot. Drellick looked at the human delegation. Military uniforms, calm faces, sharp eyes. He smiled. "Your planet is interesting," he said, "but this galaxy belongs to order. To us." General Carter replied, "We don't want to fight, but we're not joining your order." Drellick tilted his head. "You misunderstand. This is not an invitation. It's a decision, made for you." Behind the humans, black drones in the sky turned silently. Hidden satellites focused their cameras. Far away, AI systems listened and recorded every alien word. Humans played dumb, but they were listening to everything. Then it happened. One of the alien ships above the ocean began to shake. Drellick turned sharply. "What is happening to Ship 2? The human team said nothing. In orbit, alien ship systems failed. Controls went dark. Engines shut off. Lights blinked. And then, the ship fell. Like a rock, it tumbled down toward the sea. It hit the water with a massive splash, sending waves miles away. One engine exploded underwater. A direct message was sent to the alien fleet. Ship 2 entered restricted airspace. This was not an attack. It was a test. Drillex stared at the humans. His smile was gone now. "You hacked our ship." General Carter finally spoke. "We scanned your tech before the meeting. Your encryption is 300 years out of date." Back in the Galactic Council, panic broke out. Zorek slammed his fist on the table. "This is impossible. Humans can't do that." But Threx shook his head. "They can now." And they did it quietly. No loud weapons. No war cries. They just disabled us. Back on Earth, Drellick had a choice. Attack the humans in front of him, or return to the ship and report the failure. He chose to leave. But before going, he turned to General Carter. "You will regret this. The Council does not forgive." Carter looked him in the eye and said, "We don't forgive either. Ask anyone who's tried to take our freedom." Later that night, Earth celebrated. Not with parades, not with fireworks, but in silence. All the top scientists, generals, hackers, and diplomats from around the world gathered on a secure network. No country flags, no politics, just purpose. "Phase 2 is ready," one of them said. The plan had a name: Project Echo Fire. And far beyond Earth, the Council prepared their real fleet. Thousands of ships, billions of soldiers, a force built to crush stars. But what they didn't know was that Earth had already started building alliances in secret. Not just on Earth, but with some alien species who also hated the Council. The war hadn't started yet, but first contact was now first warning.